Alright, so my presentation is on inclusion, or mainstreaming, as most people kind of know it. Could using an inclusive program in a classroom be successful? Like, think of your classroom, because I'm a music person, so we're weird. So think about like your own personal classroom, like if you're an English teacher, can mainstreaming a student be successful? So ponder that for a moment. Okay. How about someone on this side wearing blue? Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'm wearing blue. I say absolutely, because some of the same strategies you can use amongst different students, like to help included students, you can use for your other students as well.
Yeah, like I think inclusion can really work in any classroom. All right, so like the way inclusion works is an inclusion in education is just adding a student with special needs for education into your classroom. Could be deaf, blind, on the autism scale, could be mentally handicapped, anything you name it, like could have 3 left feet. They'll be included into your classroom. All right? So do you think this could be successful? Obviously, I already asked that question, but what type of students are in an inclusive program? Again, any type of student. And then what they mean by mainstreaming is when you mainstream a student, it means you take that student and add them to the general population of your classroom. So like you have quote unquote normal kids and then students who are being mainstreamed. All right? Would you, as a teacher, use an inclusive group? Like, would you have students help this mainstream student? Someone on this side.
Can you say that question again?
Yeah, like, what's up?
As long as it's not disruptive to the general flow.
Exactly. Like, if you had a student who's deaf, I always kind of go that way because I'm fluent in sign language, and I grew up with a friend who was deaf. It's tough to have a deaf student in your class because you have to have an interpreter, and then if you have that person in the group, right, of students who are not deaf and don't speak sign language, it's tough. Like, how is that student going to fare with the other students? But great, because I'm in a weird field where music is awesome. We include anyone, all right? And when I was in high school, we had a special music class for students who were severely mentally handicapped to severely autistic. And these kids were in this class, and they got a lot out of it. I got to help with the class because I'm certified and that kind of stuff. And I love it. I think mainstreaming students into music classes is probably the first place they should get mainstreamed. More often than not, you'll have a student who has an IEP for inclusion, right? Like right now, like even an IEP for ADHD is the thing. I know that because I was one of those kids. Do you think with the amount of students you are like placing right now on the autism scale that you need to know how to teach a mainstream student? Anyway, what's up?
I would say yeah, just because that number is always ever increasing as it becomes more finely tuned in the process of actually placing students on the autism scale.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say that as a teacher in any area, you're going to run into it regardless. So you need to know how to do it.
Yeah, I'm in my late 20s. Like, I know I'm not saying I'm old, but when I was a kid, there was probably, I think the number was like 1 in like 10 for students who are placing on the autism scale, and now it's like 1 in 4. The number is becoming increasingly drastic for us as educators now, like learning. So we're definitely gonna have to know how to do that, right? And that's all I got. All right.